Good morning. Welcome to Tongue Tie with Miss Christy Love.
Good morning, everyone.
I am Denmark Verses. Nat Turner is in Virginia freeing some slaves. And today we're going to get into the state of the black nation. But before we get in there, our hearts go out to the families that lost their children in the school shootings. But one thing I would like to say, even if it's not politically correct, is all these people who can find suspicious activity in places where there is no suspicious activity, why don't you employ those same skills and stop your children from shooting up our schools?
Wow.
If you were doing that, then your children, because these are your children, these are your young white males going into these schools and shooting up these schools. Where are you at with your cell phone? More importantly, how can these cops apprehend a person with AR-15 that already got 16 kills under his belt, but they could shoot a black man with a cell phone 20 times? If you don't understand the issue, then you're lost. If you don't see the problem, then you're dead. And we need to stop this. Violence of no sort should be expected or should be normal. But when you have children that right now, they don't even know if their teachers are coming to work because their teachers are not getting paid. Then you throw in school shootings. Yes, there's been school shootings before, but they're starting to ramp up a lot more. Talk to your kids. Let them know it's okay to be different. Let them know that it is okay that the girl don't like them. Let them know it's okay that you may not be better than the next person, but that don't mean you're not good. You need to show them that just because you are defeated don't mean you are defeated. You need to teach them some resilient skills. The end result cannot be people losing their lives. I have a child. Miss Christy Love has children. More importantly, a lot of our viewers do too. Please take that vigilant study that y'all do on us when we're cooking barbecues or when we're at Airbnbs or when we're in Starbucks and take it to these schools and keep these children from shooting up the schools. Please, I implore you, do it for us. You ready to get into our show?
But we're gonna try. We're gonna try. Wow. I can't begin to tell you how much I agree with what Mr. Taylor just said. The things that are happening is becoming too regular. This has to stop. This has to stop. You're supposed to be going to school to learn. You shouldn't be going to school having to worry if you're going to live through that day. And that's exactly what's happening. My thoughts and prayers are absolutely with the school in Texas as well as the one in Georgia that found themselves in a similar situation just on last evening. This madness does have to stop. Absolutely. Now, I'm going to try to shift to our matter at hand today. Today, I thought we would talk about something really interesting, and this is more so about those of us dipped in melanin, those of us who have been sun-kissed repeatedly. I am talking about black love. Why is black love black self-love? Not talking about in a relationship aspect, but why is black pride considered racism? Why is it taking pride in our culture, our swag, why we do what we do? Why is something considered to be wrong with that? That's my opening question, and I'm going to go ahead and let you wax on that just a little bit, sir. What's your thoughts on black pride?
Personally, I think we should have it. I think it's very important, and it's so important you could look at it throughout history that they remove it from us. You know, when you have movies like Gods of Egypt and everybody in Gods of Egypt is white, if you ain't been to Egypt, you know that there's very few white people in Egypt. But when they making movies like that and they're portraying their stars in it, there's power in knowing who you are. There's power in self. So they want to remove that from you. Because if you go talk to anybody of any other race, you go to a Caucasian person, you say, hi, Caucasian, they'll be like, no, I'm Irish. They know who they are. There's power with that. You go talk to another Caucasian person and say, hey, Caucasian person, no, I've come from Viking heritage. They'll tell you straight off the bat. They have no issues with doing that. They take pride in it. They do the flags. They indulge in the culture of it. I think, was it last weekend, Greek Fest? I mean, okay. But when we do it, it's because when you have an identity, and especially an identity that has shaped the world, despite what people may think our identity has shaped the world, I mean, even their teachings teach you that the world began in Africa. So your identity in Africa is so strong that if they are able to remove that from you, then who are you?
And that's one of the main questions right there. Listen, this man is starting to get to a point where I'm scared to ask questions, because this man he's gonna give it to you, and he's gonna give it to you straight, no chaser. Yes, it all boils down to, who are you? Who are we? We are a people rich with culture, rich in vitality and strength, but we don't act like it, or we don't walk like it, and therefore we have other people that try to diminish our value, and they only can do that if we continue to allow them to. I believe Mama Joe said it in the great biographical depiction Soul Food. But she talked about strength and family, and she talked about that mighty fist. And I've always loved that line, because if we all would just come together, like, remember, me and him did kind of wax a taste about this earlier in the week. Light skin versus dark skin. I'm sorry, what's the difference?
And
What's the difference? Other than the appearance of it.
In America or in the world?
See, and I just set myself up. How about both? What's the difference? In America, what's the difference between?
It's how the world sees beauty, and that's one thing. And we want to deny it, but at the end of the day, the world sees beauty in a certain image. And I always say, the military had the same image, and a lot of people don't realize this. There was a time where you had to be 6 foot. Yeah, there was a time. People don't realize that. There's a reason why certain things are in place, because they have an image that they want to uphold. There's a reason why certain things are in place. And over years, we always talk about the system, and everybody's like, what's the system? The system is something that's set in place. It doesn't mean that there's a particular person behind it manning the system, but there's a system that's set in place. The system set in place is the view of beauty. Not just Western beauty, but world beauty. If you look at around the world, it's rare that dark skin is viewed beautiful. So when you're light, and it shouldn't be, because we teach two different things. We teach God is love, everybody's beautiful, but then if you're dark, you have beautiful qualities. If you're dark, we say, you dress well. If you dark, we have to add other things to it instead of saying you're a beautiful dark-skinned person. And that's pretty much around the world. It's not just a Western.
Man.
The thing about it in our culture is we had let it set into us where we divided our whole lives. Families have been divided by it. People treat people different depending on their color, and that's sad, because just because a person is light-skinned with curly hair don't make them better.
Come on now.
Just because a person is dark-skinned don't mean their berry is sweeter. It's what you like. But we have allowed the world to shape us to say that being dark or being a person of melon skin color, you're not viewed as beautiful. And I always say it like this. Hollywood has always used light-skinned African Americans. They always used them. We fed into that because we always went to go see them. We rarely go support the dark-skinned ones until we find out they're dating someone of another race.
Man, look.
Wesley Snipes wasn't that important until we found out that he didn't prefer black women.
I almost said something. He's right, but I almost said something.
What's the other one? He used to be in a lot of Tyler Perry movies, and there was a picture with him. He dark-skinned guy, Lance Gross. I think. And he was all right. Morris Chestnut was all right, but till you find out, wait a second, they may not be with a person. They'll say, oh, our beautiful black men. Oh, our beautiful black this. I mean, we did the same thing with the Serena Williams and Venus Williams. They were all right. Serena grew into an adult body, but at the end of the day, until black men saw it, they went to another race. That's when I was saying, we was like, give us our women back. But was they yours when they were supposed to be yours? No, because we allowed the color to shape us and make us think that they're not beautiful. We allow the fact that they're natural features. We saw it as being ugly. We don't want to face the fact that that's what's going on.
You know what? It stings. It stings when you have to listen to the reality of something. The truth hurts, does it not? And It has been a known fact for years. If you have the European features, European, what was the other term you used? You said European, and you said
I think they say, is it ambiguous where they can't really define your race?
gosh, yes, yes, yes. It's almost as if we say black is beautiful, but then we treat it like black is not beautiful. It's almost as if you're the color of a mic stand, something's wrong with you. I do believe that people develop that the saying, the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice, almost to kind of diffuse what was being thrown their way. And it should not be that way. But I think what is even sadder is that it's us that do it to each other. They don't really have to come along and do it. We don't like it when they do, but we do it to each other. And I don't understand how we got there. And I even more so don't understand how we going to get up out of that. Because it's crazy. And I remember I said this on our last session. You cut all of us open, we all bleed red. That doesn't change. We have different exteriors, but we're made up just the doggone same. We do say God is love. We do, but then we put stipulations on it. I don't know how we are going to even begin to progress as a people if we can't get away from that. I know, because you had last week, because when you had said activism was dead, and like that stuck with me all week, because when you said it, I was like, oh, he really did say that. But it's true. It's true. It's true. So, okay. And we do need to stop that, she light skinned, she is light skinned, she got good hair, all this. We need to stop that. Do y'all not find pride in the sisters of the darker hue? The ones who do have the short, natural hair. Do you see what we look like? What we really, truly look like? Now, I am not, it is not my job to judge anyone or to speak against anyone that has decided they need to bleach their skin. I don't understand why you felt the need to do that, but that was your decision. I don't understand why people feel the need to do things that make them look a certain way. But I guess you got to get it how you live. And I guess it's one of those things where self-enhancement has gone that way. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I can honestly say for myself, transparent moment, I started to feel me a little bit more when I allowed myself to just be a natural beauty. I'm not knocking anybody who gets up every day, beats and snatches their face to the gods. Hair is glistening and gleaming and running down your shoulders. I can't do it. I ain't got that kind of time, first of all, and I don't have that kind of patience. I just feel like I had to learn how to accept me right as I was made, the way that God created me. Now, I understand everybody is not there. And a lot of us, I don't think we're ever going to get there. Just because you haven't accepted yourself, but you're working so hard to get other people to accept you. And you have to do that through the way that you appear to others. So you're willing to contour your face, Lil' Kim. You're willing to do things to make yourself look like somebody else. And the truth of the matter is what you're trying to fix can't be fixed externally. It's an internal something. I mean, I don't know. I'm not even trying to match what he does over here because this man is all the way up there. I'm trying to climb up to where he is. But seriously, the things that especially women, and we have seen some men do it too. God bless you. But God bless you. But we have seen a lot of women go through that thing of plastic surgery and changing their appearance to where they don't even look like the person they once was. And it really has everything to do with a heart change. You got something that's going on inside of here, and you feel the need to do something with this here. Just a theory. Just kind of what I think. I'm just trying to tell you what God love. I don't know. So here's my question to you now, Mr. Taylor. I'm gonna take a chance and bring you on back into the fold because you're making me a little nervous. Now I am gonna go here, and I'm probably getting ready to piss a few females off, but y'all get over it. What do you say to the women that change themselves? The black women, especially, that feel that they have to change themselves to look a certain way because he being the black brother, the black man, he choosing other. He's not choosing me. So maybe if I look like her, maybe he'll choose me. What would you say to a woman that thinks like that?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Because I think now, and I'm not going to use the term that I normally use.
Yeah, don't do that.
But now you can go to a Build-A-Bear workshop and create anything you want. And I think it goes back to how you was raised. So back in the day, we could go out there and a girl could be like, Marshawn, you short. Well, I ain't grown since the 9th grade. I ain't going to grow, so I guess I just got to move on with life.
Okay.
2018, Marshawn, you short. Well, $2,000 could give me 2 or 3 extra inches. I'm going to go get those 2 or 3 extra inches. It's the timing of everything. We don't know how, as a people and a society, we don't know how to deal with rejection. Lil Kim is a prime example because she actually explained the reason why she did the plastic surgery. Even Cardi B explained it. They were not happy. Lil Kim said, I got tired of them cheating on people lighter than me, so I became what they liked.
You know what?
Back in the day, she probably would have been like, screw it. I'm Lil Kim. I could go get someone else. But now that you have the access to do it, and now it's more popular to do it. You know, if you look at the Kardashians, the only one you actually really seen grow into who they're probably supposed to be is the oldest one. The rest of them have been changed. And 2 of them was changed before they hit puberty. So you don't even know what you was going to be. You know, we look at butterflies, we say, your worm goes in, comes out a butterfly. Well, if you're not even getting a chance for the worm to go in, then how do you know what you're going to be? We're scared of our features because we can change our features. We can change anything now. And instead of looking at a person saying, I love you the way you are, we look at people and we say, I love you, but what if your nose was a little bit thinner? What if your skin was a little bit lighter? You know, what if your hair was straighter? You know, you could go to the pool and actually go somewhere. I mean, as black people, we go to the pool.
We don't do all that.
But we say, you know, we right there. I mean, even me, I'm right there. If I go under, it's a miracle of science. But that's how we are. But I mean, rejection changes everything. And right now we're in a society where if you reject me, I just can change me instead of saying you just wasn't for me.
Come on.
That's the difference. If a person that's for you will always accept who you are. A person that loves you will always love you for who you are. They won't love you with stipulations. And anybody that loves you with stipulations doesn't love you.
See, this is why I said I was going to take a chance and bring him back into the fold, because he always says something that even makes my thinking go to the next level. Absolutely. You're supposed to know how to stand. I like when Martin all said, Gina, you got to stand like a man. You got to stand like a man. You have to stand and know who you are and be firm in that. Put the Dunkin' Donuts cup down. You have to stand and know who you are. No apology. No forbearance for what that person standing in front of you might say or do. It is not easy to do. It is not easy to do. All right, another transparent moment for me. I'm going to try not to make this a habit. But I remember thinking, after being told that I was too big for someone. And I remember thinking, okay, that's all right. I'm going to just go ahead and lose weight. But I couldn't get into a rhythm of it. I couldn't make it happen. And I couldn't do that because I wasn't doing it for the right reasons. I wasn't doing it because, well, Christy wants to be healthy and Christy wants to be here to see her children grow up and graduate and get to married. No. I wanted to do it because I was like, well, I like him and I really want him. And he said I'm too big. So maybe if no. I had to learn how to take my power back, and I had to learn how to do it a little bit at a time. And I had to get to a point where I decided that if you can't accept me as I am right now, then you have no place in my life. Period. Point blank. End of the doggone story. I can't do it. I can't do it. And again, I am not by any means saying that because you may be a person in that place right now where you're really not quite sure who you are, then I challenge you to find out who the hell you are. Stop, because if you don't know who the hell you are, there's a lot of people out here willing to tell you and make you into who the hell they think you should be. Yeah, I said hell. It's all right. It's all right. Hell is in the Bible. It's all right. You have to know who you are. We, the people, we the beautiful black people that we are, we have to know who we are. And I do think it goes back to delving into history. Wouldn't you say, Mr. Taylor? And tread lightly because you be scaring me a little bit. Wouldn't you say that if we go back and do our homework and learn a little bit more about who we, where we come from, who we were created to be, don't you think that might help us just a little bit? Don't you think it would make a difference?
This table is beautiful. We know this table is beautiful. We see the artwork and the craft in it. But if someone comes to this table and tells this table that it is not valued and it's ugly, everybody else that comes to this table will view it the same way. So this table purpose would no longer be as a table. It would just be there. With our history, we have to dust it off and not just go around, because it's cute to say we were kings and queens, but do we really understand what kings and queens means? Because I could take you to a strip club and it's a lot of queens on them poles, because a lot of them say that they're queens. But what king wants a queen that everybody had? But on the flip side of that, what queen wants a king that has fertilized the earth? So we have to understand that wording is just wording. So when we look at these words, we have to understand the power behind these words. So if I say I'm a king, what does that mean? Well, if I'm a king and I'm a king of my kingdom, what falls under my kingdom? That will be my spouse and the children, my job, how the world views me, how I control the way the world views me. And that's one thing we have to understand. We control the way the world views us. You know, us sitting on TV, acting a fool, acting out. And I made this statement before and I'll make it again. Meek Mill should not be the face of injustice when he has felonies. He committed a crime. He did wrong. We allow the world to view us in a way like they'll support anybody. And that's why the world views us that way. And then it trickles down to our children. They're like, oh, it's okay. We could always, change our lives. Look, for every one Meek Mills, how many are still in jail? For every one. So we have to start looking at it like we can't just say kings and queens. We have to develop a foundation of what that means. You have to grow it. A garden grows after you tend to it. It doesn't grow because you put seeds in it. Every day a farmer goes out and a farmer does what a farmer does, from cultivating the ground to making sure the ground is ready before they plant. We sit up in here, we're trying to throw plants in dead ground. Nothing grows out of dead ground. It's a cute saying that a rose grows from the concrete, but how many concretes you seen the rose grow out of? So we need to start going back to these children, because there's a lot of broken households. There's a lot of broken traditions that we have. There's just a lot of brokenness within our community, and unfortunately, you have to go back to the source of the brokenness, which would be history. But with history comes responsibility, and even though we learn our history, there's a responsibility to carry on our history. I always say that the same people that died and fought for our freedom, their blood flows through us. So there's no difference. We could overcome, and we're in a prime position to overcome more. There's no reason why we shouldn't have more millionaires. We should have more billionaires. The sad part about it is, and I'm guilty of this, why is it that we're famous, but they're making money off of us? Why is it that we created the shoe culture, but they're making the money off of us? We made sports. See, people think Jim Crow was ended because it was the right thing to do. It was ended because they could make money off of us. When you ended that, you know how much money they made off of us? We integrated in their sports. We gave them the power. So now these are things that we gave up. Everybody want to be a ninja until you are a ninja. They send people like Post Malone to be in our culture, and look at how they view us. They get tattoos, the colorful hair, and they think that, oh, talking like this, that's us. They never say acting black is being intelligent. And until we take that back and we make them realize that being black is being intelligent, they will never respect us, and we will not respect ourselves.
I could have sworn I told him to tread lightly. I mean, I could have sworn that right before I asked him to weigh in, I said to tread lightly. See, here's the thing. Like, there's so much more that we are worth than that. I'm not saying anything's wrong with the entertainment industry. I'm definitely not saying anything's wrong, with sports, all of the different things that make this world what it is. I just don't quite understand how how we got to the point that we are or are in, and I don't quite think I understand what it's going to take to get it started. Now I know a lot of us, and I will say this. I've said this before. Ministry begins at home. It begins with you. Become the change that you want to see in others. Sometimes it's going to require you to be by your doggone self. It's going to cause you to become uncomfortable. Shout out to my uncomfortable one, Miss Marquita. Love you, girl. Love you, boo. You have to become uncomfortable to make some things happen. And a lot of times, that's where you're gonna find your strength at. It's when you start to step out and do some things and speak on some things, but even more so, be about some things. That's where you're gonna find where you truly belong, where your purpose lies, and what it is you can do to effectively change the situation. Now, we know that we're not going to be able to change everybody's mind. There's still going to be people that are going to find fault with us no matter what we do, no matter how we try to make things better or try to make our people better. Because unfortunately, we do still have the crabs in the barrel mentality. So there's going to be those that when they see you start to ascend, they're going to try to put you back down because they don't want to see you go but so far. I don't understand why we do that to each other. Instead of, as we like to say, instead of big upping each other, we always trying to pull each other back. We always trying to hold each other down. We say we're our brothers and sisters keeper. But we not functioning in that. We're not acting. He laughing. I don't even want to know why he laughing because I already know if I ask him, he going, why are you laughing?
Everybody thinks that this is the only table in the room. So we all gonna go after this one table. So if two people could fit here, two people could fit there, one on each side, then the table's full. So now they thinking this is the only table. They're gonna fight us to get to this table. When there's a table over here, there's a table over here.
You better
learn the skill to create your own table. That's where the crab and the barrel mentality come from. We've been trained that there's only one way to do anything. So if you see a person, that's why you see a lot of our athletes and entertainers get in trouble with their posse, because those people, they're like, we got to hold on to them. And if that person goes to do something better and they act like they're forgetting us, we get mad at them, not realizing that we could create our own platform just like them. And that's where we fall into the problem. And you said, how did we get to this point as far as why is colorism and why are we so separate? If you look at and I'll use music as an example because
Gina.
In our videos and stuff, and I'll use black men. In black men videos, it's rare to see a woman of dark skin and complexion. It's actually rare to see a woman of African. And what we do is we go and we get the women that have the features but not the color. So if you're a woman and you see that, and you see your favorite artist having that in their video all the time, automatically it's going to make you feel uncomfortable. And that goes, and I mean, because we don't realize imagery is everything.
Yes.
So especially in today's society, I mean, if you go on Instagram, an Instagram model, it's not a real model, but Instagram model is considered of a person of a lighter skin complexion with African features. And those African features can be bought. So when a person of color sees that, they're like, wow, now I have to compete for that same attention, which means that to compete with them, you're going to go to their level, if not worse. So they in a bikini, you might be in a little skinnier because of those likes, as they say, because social media does. Everything that happens on social media happens in the real world because people be on social media and kill celebrities like every day. And I mean,
every day.
We just have a problem with imagery right now. And in our culture right now, everything is lighter. It's geared lighter. As a matter of fact, in our rap music, it's lighter. When a person comes out, Childish Gambino, with a song that's considered pro-black, now America want to discuss it as, is it a hate song?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Now they want to discuss it as, well, can he really talk about that? His baby mama's white. Well, you know what? There's a lot of mixed people that was in our revolution. And a lot of people I'm like, why? I call that the Dr. Umar Johnson philosophy. If you're light, you're not right, or if you're of mix, you're not right. And I'm looking at him like, but if you're sitting here trying to empower strippers, you're not right. But hey, that's just a different story. We got to stop. That's where the division comes in. So now that person that wants to help us, it's not going to help us. But self-love is important, and it's
Very
harder
important.
now because you learn self-love from parents. A daughter learns how to be loved from her father. A son learns how to be loved from his mother, and that's what you go out and you look for. So if you're absent of that, then you go out there and you find it any means necessary.
Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Once again, Mr. Taylor, you said that. You did that, sir. Absolutely. When you mentioned, I think when you talked about imagery, it took me back to something. I don't know if y'all remember when, and well, okay, I'm about to tell on myself as far as my age goes. Do y'all remember when Bo Derek did the whole cornrows thing? When she actually, we're talking about a white woman, Caucasian woman, who had cornrows, and I believe she was doing a model shoot or something out on the beach. And a lot of people became enraged by that. A lot of people, when Caucasians started to rock cornrows. Now, I felt two ways about it, to be very honest with you. Now, I looked at it in one respect. I was like, really? So y'all are now, you're going to take this hairstyle that was, we know where it came from. You're going to take this and now you're going to modernize this. Now you're making it look acceptable. Now you're making it look okay. But when Riri and Quan Quan was rocking it and doing their own little mock photo shoots and everything, y'all thumbs downed it. You left swiped it. It wasn't acceptable. That bothered me. It bothered me because for me, I took it absolutely as what I thought black was beautiful. I thought it was okay. I thought we could be our authentic selves and be recognized and appreciated for that. But instead you come along and you've appropriated and taken our thing and making it look like it's something new. You're rocking it, you're on the runway with it, and you're on the cover of Cosmo, but yet and still you really, at the end of the day, most of you, not all of you, but most of you view us as the minority. Most of you think that we're less than you. I had a problem with that. I had a big butt problem with that because I'm trying to stop cursing. I'm working on that. Jesus is still working on my mouth. I had a big butt problem with that. I didn't like that at all. Now, as I've gotten a little bit more seasoned and a little bit more mature about things, I do think that there are times where imitation is the best form of flattery. I do think that there are times where our culture, our things that we do, things that do make black so beautiful, is presented in a light as a means to unite and as a means to revere and to pay homage to, not to completely disrespect and push us to the side. Even more so, let's give them something to work with. Let's reinvent ourselves. Let's continue to put ourselves out there. Take a chance. You do not have to look like everyone else. All my natural sisters, my naturalistas out there rocking the dreadlocks, rocking the big fros, those kinks, them naughty kinks. Girl, you better work. You better go ahead and show them what you working and twerking with. That's what I'm talking about. That is beautiful to me because you're being you and you are taking that thing up and kicking it up another notch. Don't let nobody tell you nothing just because you threw a little bit of color in there. It's all right. You can go ahead and put some color in there. But be beautiful intentionally, on purpose. Go ahead and do that. I do not like that there's still that standard where dreads are viewed as dirty or unprofessional. I don't think that's fair. Now, have I seen some that I thought that I needed to put on the prayer list? Absolutely. Absolutely. I've seen, a couple, 2, 3 where I'm a little concerned. But he got something he want to say. I see him. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, with the dress, personally, that's a religion. And I think we need to learn the true meaning behind that before we indulge in that, because that's a religion and culture in itself. But one thing I always tell people, if you get mad that they reject you for what you have, then why don't you create it where you don't have to be rejected? And that's where we fall. We get so caught up in we got to go work for them, work for them. Why don't we create something so we can accept the people that look like us and let them be who they supposed to be, instead of saying they have to make those choices to either cut their hair or, dress a certain way, because how you dress, even though, and once again, that's a system set in place. And one thing we have to understand, the system set in place was a system of a clean cut white man with a buzz cut. So anything that is different from that, they shunned upon, well, they will always accept their own, because at the end of the day, you're going to always accept your own. But we have to say, you know what, we can recreate business. If 95% of the business is of us or about us, why can't we be part of that? Why can't we have ownership stake in that? We don't always have to be entertainers. We don't always have to be sports. I mean, why can't we have doctors with dreads? Why can't we have lawyers go in the courtroom with dreads? Why can't we have a judge sitting on the bench with dreads? Why can't we?
I'm here for it. I'm with it. I'm here for it.
We need to create that firm that says, you know what, we judge you off your work, not off your appearance.
Come on here.
So until we create that, we will always have to fall into those judgment things where we have to sit here and think, well, dang, I have to do it this way, or I have to wear the wrap over my head so nobody would know who I am, when the person next to me haven't washed their hair in weeks. It just looked like it's just there, and a bug just crawled out of it.
I mean, he got a point, but I'm not, he's kind of got a point there. But I'm here for it, sir. I'm here for it, sir. I do hope that a day will come where appearance is not what you judge somebody off of, because it never should be about that. It never should be. You should be able, or you should know how to look at somebody's heart and see beyond what's being presented. I do understand it's all in the presentation. It's all okay. Okay, that's fair. But at the same time, I've seen slime present itself. I've seen garbage present itself too. Bill Cosby one time had this analogy, right? Where Vanessa came home with Dabness. Y'all remember Dabness? And basically it was the fact of how Vanessa presented Dabness to the family. Cliff Harris said, she brought your hair on a garbage lid. And the whole context of that line, that stuck with me too. Yeah, old school TV. That stuck with me because presentation is important. Dunkin' Donuts is important. It is. Like Dunkin' Donuts. At the end of the day, my beautiful black kings and black queens, I love y'all. We got to do better about loving each other. We got to get back to what's real. Nothing against. We're not saying that we only love us, therefore we hate anyone else. Now, are there some black radicals, that might be the term, out there that feel that way? Okay, but all of us don't feel that way. All of us don't look at you that way. But with us in regards to one another, we absolutely got to do better. I got to give major props and shout out to this man sitting right here to my immediate right, my Sean Taylor. You were Denmark VC today? And he's, shout out to our other co-host, William Coleman. In his absence, he is off serving the country. He will hopefully be back with us soon. Definitely much love and much respect to Daryl Goodman and Ray Harvey, our To Expose You family and crew. Shout out to all the other To Expose You fam out there, my Shell and guys off the bench. And all y'all. Hope everybody is well. Listen, take a moment and love on your people today, because we are leaving here entirely too fast. Take a moment out and just check on your folks. Make sure everybody is okay. You don't want to have that thing and that guilt of shoulda, woulda, coulda. This is Christy Love getting ready to sign off. My Sean Taylor, how can they get in touch with you?
Oh, yeah, I'm on social media. But always remember this. They changed the law to prosecute Bill Cosby, but yet Harvey Weinstein and Charlie Sheen still out here spreading AIDS.
And he just put that at the end of the show when we have to sign off. Okay, but this is my Sean Taylor. I would be Christy Baxter McLaurin, also known as Christy Love. I am on Facebook under Christy Baxter McLaurin, and I also have another page, Christy Loves World. Also, let's talk about it. You all be blessed. You all be intentional. You all continue to support. So much more to come. Tongue Tied signing out. We'll see.